There exists objects in this world that are more than meets the eye. These objects were the result of influence from a realm beyond ours. And although difficult to explain, accounts exist of the paranormal influence that affected these objects, and how many of them were the result of pure evil. Here are 10 paranormal objects with chilling backstories. Number 10 is the Ohio State Handprint. There's a slab of concrete at Ohio State University with a large dark handprint on it which cannot be removed. While documentary evidence is sparse, there's a campus story which explains where the handprint came from. The story goes that many years ago, a student on the campus found herself stuck in an elevator. The power went out and she was trapped in the darkness for hours. No one knew she was there, and she was only discovered the following morning. When she was finally let out of the elevator, she was traumatized, having left her handprints on the elevator walls as she tried in vain to find a way out in the darkness. Supposedly, the girl passed away years later, and now a dark handprint can be seen on a concrete slab outside of the building where she was trapped, as if a supernatural reminder of her struggle. Number 9 is the Jamesian Gate. M.R. James was a famous writer of English ghost stories in the late 1800s and early 1900s. He was often asked if he had ever actually seen a ghost in real life. Many believe that because he was a respected academic that he felt admitting to a supernatural encounter would have been career suicide. However, just before his death, he wrote a story called A Vignette. Many people believe that this was based on a real experience. Near where he lived as a boy, there was a gate which led onto a plantation. After being followed by something in the nearby woods, he looked out of his window and saw a creeping apparition peering through the gate, and he felt as though it meant to do him harm. Part of the gate still exists, and to this day, some believe that a malevolent spirit haunts it, waiting for unsuspecting victims nearby. Number 8 is the Eye of Brahma. Also known as the Black Orlov, the Eye of Brahma is a diamond with a creepy supernatural backstory. It was discovered in the early 19th century in India. Some believe that the diamond is actually an eye from a statue of the Hindu god Brahma. Supposedly, this was stolen by a monk and then the diamond fell into the black market. The theft of this religious item allegedly created a curse. The diamond dealer J.W. Paris, who took the diamonds to the United States in 1932, supposedly committed suicide in New York. One day, he suddenly jumped off of a skyscraper. After this, 2 Russian princesses owned the jewel, and both jumped to their deaths as well in the 1940s. Due to a number of other untimely deaths, a man by the name of Charles F. Winson broke the diamond into 3 pieces, hoping to end the curse for good. Number 7 is the Conjuring Chest. The Conjuring Chest has a horrific history and a terrifying paranormal backstory which goes back 150 years. A slave owner named Jacob Cooley ordered one of his slaves to build a chest for his child. Although the chest was well constructed, Cooley was displeased with it and in a fit of rage beat the slave to death. The man's name was Hosea, and his loved ones allegedly sprinkled dried owl blood onto the chest to create a curse. Soon after, Cooley's firstborn child died. Following this, successive generations of Cooley's descendants who also owned the box have also perished under unusual circumstances. The curse was apparently lifted when the family finally discovered a ritual which would reverse it. However, despite this, the Conjuring Chest remains in storage from when the family gave it away to a museum in 1976. To this day, nobody dares open it, or for that matter, even go near it. Number 6 is the Anguished Man. In 2010, Sean Robinson discovered a strange painting in his grandmother's attic. She claimed that it was evil and had kept it hidden for 25 years. When the painting had been displayed in her home, she saw a dark figure wandering around her house at night, and even heard bizarre noises as if someone was crying. Sean was told by his grandmother that the painting was made by an artist who committed suicide and mixed some of his own blood into the paint before he killed himself. Once the painting was moved from the attic and displayed once more, Sean claims to have seen the apparition that his grandmother described. Not only that, but others who have looked at the same painting have suffered nosebleeds, and Sean believes that both his son and his father have been pushed down the stairs by an unseen figure. Number 5 is Belcourt Screaming Armour. Built as a huge summer villa in 1894, Newport's Belcourt Castle has 60 rooms, many of which contain items connected to paranormal activity. One of the most interesting of these paranormal objects can be found in the large ballroom. With its Gothic design, the ballroom displays a number of suits of armor, which line the walls. All of these suits are reproductions, with the exception of a helmet which was damaged in battle. The owners of Belcourt Castle claimed that the last person to use the helmet was killed by a spear which pierced the knight's eye. Accounts exist of ghostly, blood-curdling screams emanating from the ballroom at all hours of the night. Many believe these are the death cries of the dying knight. However, he isn't alone. The ghostly voices of long-dead revelers have also been heard celebrating in the old ballroom uninvited. Number 4 is the Goddess of Death. The Lem statue depicts a female figure often referred to as the Goddess of Death. It's allegedly a statue which causes the death of those who touch it. Reports suggest that the statue was found in Lem, Cyprus, and dates back to 3500 BC. It seems to be one of the several statues found there called Idols of Pomas. This is another case where documentation is thin on the ground, but from the few sources out there, it seems that after coming into possession of the idol, 7 members of the same family all died within a 6-year period. After that, several other owners and their families died, and the curse became dangerously real. Finally, it was allegedly donated to a museum in Edinburgh. However, the museum curator there also died. The statue is now kept behind glass out of arm's reach from anyone who might want to touch it. Number 3 is a haunted swing. In an isolated park in Huntsville, Alabama, there sits a children's playground complete with a haunted swing. This shouldn't come as a surprise considering that the park is in the middle of a cemetery. Why the play park was built in the middle of a massive cemetery is anyone's guess, but many have reported hearing strange disembodied voices around the area. Not only that, but it's been said that the apparitions of dead children from the cemetery play on the swings. The residents of Huntsville have become attached to what they call the Dead Children's Playground, and were so protective of it that they urged local officials to replace the aging playground swings and chutes with new ones. Now, both the dead and the living can play together. Number 2 is the Devil's Tree. The Devil's Tree can be found in an empty field in Somerset County, New Jersey. This solitary oak has the unfavorable distinction of being connected to a number of untimely deaths. Many in the local area believe that anyone who damages or disrespects the tree will come under its malevolent influence. This has allegedly resulted in several car accidents and even fatalities. It's been said that a local farmer hanged himself from the tree, cursing anyone who tried to cut it down, almost as if the tree itself was his memorial. Others claim that the tree was used during colonial times to hang slaves who tried to escape. But perhaps most strangely is that those who have investigated the tree have found that when winter comes, the snow melts around it. They found that the devil tree feels warm to the touch, and some go as far as to say that the tree's roots reach down to hell. And number 1 is the skull of Burton Agnes Hall. In 1620, the apparition of Anne Griffith was first seen at Burton Agnes Hall in England. While alive, Anne watched with delight as the house that she was to live in was constructed, but before the house was completed, she was attacked by robbers and died of her injuries a few days later. Anne's dying wish was to be a part of the house forever, and so she asked that her head be kept inside the building. When she died, the family did not honor her wishes. They simply buried Anne in a nearby churchyard. However, soon after, her apparition began walking the halls and rooms of the house, wailing loudly. The disturbance was so frightening that a few years later, Anne's skull was finally removed from her grave and placed inside the hall. The haunting died down and only ever returns if someone attempts to remove the skull from the house.